The body is a very complex matrix of systems which work individually and collectively. When you get sick and experience some symptoms, how does your doctor tell what is wrong, considering that the body is fully covered with the skin? By looking at the symptoms. The same symptom in one person can mean a different illness in another person. This is the dilemma that is facing health practitioners every day. The headache of diagnosis. In this show, we present you with a medical intuitive who transcends the barriers of diagnosis and treatment and make this look so easy. Watch the show and be amazed.
I am a medical intuitive. I use alternative techniques to diagnose and treat illnesses.
I think and according to into yabo research yabo ayikho treatment for lung disease.
This is a God-given gift which is coupled with my training and acumen for physiology and anatomy. Over the years, I've successfully diagnosed and treated illnesses that have defied even the best of some of the medical practices. We all have our life purpose, and this one is mine. I've had numerous questions and requests for me to cover the topic of cancer because it is a big scare and it is increasing. So today we're going to be talking about it. Maybe in the next show also we will cover it because there are so many areas that need covering. People are desperate, people are scared, people don't know what decisions to make between chemotherapy and natural alternative medication or methods. So where does a person go? So today we're going to be talking about cancer, the big C. Make sure you don't go away, and welcome to the show.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode, a very informative episode, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Okay, before we proceed with our show, I would like you to take a look at this clip, just to give you something to think about before we proceed, because that one I have not had anything to do with it. I have not prepared it. I just took it out as presented, and I want you to be the judge. So please take a look.
Hello and welcome to our channel, where we explore fascinating stories from around the world. Today, we are going to talk about a small valley located in the northernmost part of Pakistan, where people are known to live longer than the rest of the world. The valley is called the Hunza Valley, and it is home to a unique food culture that is said to be the secret behind the longevity of its people. The Hunza Valley is a remote and isolated region in the Karakoram mountain range, surrounded by towering peaks and glaciers. The valley has been inhabited by the Hunza people for centuries, who have developed a diet based on the local crops and resources. The Hunza people are known to live up to 120 years, and their diet is believed to be one of the reasons behind their longevity. So, what is the secret behind the long-life food in Hunza Valley? Let's find out. Firstly, the Hunza people consume a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. The valley is known for its fertile soil, which produces a variety of fruits and vegetables, including apricots, cherries, apples, potatoes, peas, beans, and grains. These crops are grown using natural methods and without the use of pesticides or fertilizers, which makes them more nutritious and healthier. Secondly, the Hunza people consume a lot of whole grains. Whole grains such as wheat, barley, and millet are a staple in their diet. These grains are rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and they help to reduce the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Thirdly, the Hunza people consume a lot of nuts and seeds. The valley is known for its walnut trees, which produce some of the finest walnuts in the world. Walnuts are a rich source of omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for brain health and can help to reduce the risk of heart disease. The Hunza people also consume other nuts such as almonds and apricot kernels, which are rich in protein and healthy fats. Fourthly, the Hunza people consume a lot of dairy products. The valley is home to a unique type of cow called the Zo, which is a cross between a cow and a yak. The Zo produces a type of milk that is high in protein and calcium, and it is used to make cheese, yogurt, and butter. These dairy products are a rich source of calcium, which is essential for strong bones and teeth. Lastly, the Hunza people consume a lot of herbal teas. The valley is known for its herbal teas, which are made from a variety of local herbs and flowers. These teas are rich in antioxidants, which help to boost the immune system and reduce the risk of chronic diseases. In conclusion, the long-life food in Hunza Valley is a combination of fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, nuts and seeds, dairy products, and herbal teas. The Hunza people have developed a unique diet that is rich in nutrients and antioxidants, which help to promote longevity and good health.
As you can see, it sounds too good to be true that there are people that can live so healthy and live beyond 100 and still conceive at age 60, 65. I mean, I get people here who are already at 30 and are saying, I think I'm too old. Because their concern is, it's not just only that they might not conceive easily, but their fear is maybe there might be something wrong with the baby. Of course, they've got every reason to be, because the baby takes from the health of the parents.
Yes.
So, but if at 65, people are still menstruating, women are still menstruating and still conceiving, I mean, really?
Yeah.
So what is it saying about our way of life, our lifestyle? It's not coming from me, it's coming from the evidence.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as usual, Nikki is going to be asking questions on your behalf. Some of the questions that have come from you, some which we'll be adding on as we go along. So I'm going to let her ask questions on your behalf.
Okay, we all know that cancer is on the increase, right? But what is causing this increase, this burst? I mean, if you sit and you look, maybe even 30 years ago, cancer was there, but maybe one or two people you might know now. The amount of people that you know that have cancer or are fighting cancer, it's quite a big jump. I mean, I can think of maybe 5 people off the top of my head, just in my circle alone. What might be causing this?
I remember, is it Idris Elba?
Yes.
Yeah.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, when his mother or father, one of the parents, contracted cancer. And when, I think it was his dad, and when the mother was told that his father had cancer, and her first answer was, no, it's not possible. Black people don't contract cancer, that was, and she was not saying out of joking but she believed that cancer is not an illness that affected Black people. It was a white man's illness.
Okay.
But I mean, that was just a comment, by the way.
Yeah.
But if you look at the lifestyle of Black people before we became more modernized and have managed to afford certain things and what have you. So if you look at our grandparents, I'm not even saying at my parents, I'm talking about me. If you look at our grandparents, people who are in my age group,
yeah,
we never knew about cancer. There was never, even diabetes,
Yes.
even these chronic illnesses, let alone cancer, even these chronic illnesses. When I was growing up, it was, I mean, people used to call it, I mean, they would say, "Utwa une sugar." You know, that means they never used to say it's diabetes. They used to call it sugar. So you're suffering
Yes.
from sugar. But it was so few people, you know, such that when they hear that you've got sugar, it would be like unheard of. I'm not talking cancer. I'm just talking sugar
Yes.
diabetes, which is now if you don't have it, something is wrong with you.
Yeah.
That's how it is now.
Yes.
So it's like,
Yes.
if you don't have it or high blood pressure, then something is missing.
Yeah.
Because it is now the opposite. Instead of it being scarce, everybody has got it. So if
Yes.
you don't have it, it's like something is missing. So cancer was totally non-existent. Why? Because of the lifestyle. Cancer is a lifestyle disease, Nikki. Let alone that there's also genetic, which I will cover. Okay. But it is first a lifestyle disease because even as a genetic illness, if you live a certain kind of lifestyle, you will find that it is, you can still beat it.
Yes.
Yeah. Because when I say it is also genetic, I will give examples of that. But basically, cancer is a lifestyle disease. But remember, cancer is a cell production abnormality.
Yes.
It is not a virus. It is not a bacteria. It is not anything that comes and invade the body. It comes from the abnormal production of cells from within you.
Yes.
Something that you cannot avoid because you've got to make the cells. So when you get cancer, that means something has happened. Your voltage has been affected. Your pH has gone down. It has become, and all that is because of lifestyle.
Yes.
That is a lifestyle. So the reason why you never found it, therefore, was because people lived in the way that God created them to live.
Yes.
From nature, food came from the soil, not from the laboratory.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I battle when I go to these shops, you know, like the spas and the whatnot, where you find you're looking for grapes and you find they've got no seedlings. Buy a lemon, it has got no seedling.
Yeah.
And then you realize, this is GMO.
Yes.
Because once it does not have seedlings, then you know something, you must run if you can avoid buying that.
Yeah.
Because it's not natural. It has been modified, so the DNA of that product has been tampered with, so it's no longer recognized by the body. So the body is actually likely to attack it than feed you. It's not
Yes.
nutrition. It's a pathogen. It's an invader. For us to know that something is as we say it is, how do we determine? We look at the results.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that you can look at to convince people that this works like this, except you show that it really works like this. The results are proving. So if you look at the people, therefore, that lived, I mean, our grandparents, great-great-grandparents, they were like this tribe that I'm talking about,
Yes.
where you find they could walk distances, long distances. You would never find them picking up weight. They were tiny because they get up early in the morning. They work in the fields. When they prepare food, they prepare it naturally. They get it from the soil. It's fresh. Whatever's left will be taken the following day or whenever they need it. If it's a chicken, it's a proper chicken. It's not the free range chicken, because these free range chickens, it's like, really, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a proper chicken. It's a proper lamb. Everything is organic, truly and truly organic.
Yes.
No pesticides that are used for the crop and everything. So where does the cancer get a chance of invading you? You know, so they never had those opportune, that is now cancer cells. But then you look at how white people used to live because they had all the monies. They could afford to buy everything, prepare and make it easy. Because now when you are not planting it, someone is planting it for you and harvesting it for you. So you don't need to dirty your hands. Someone is going to do that. And then, but if they're selling it to you, then you've got to preserve it.
Yeah.
So that it's got a shelf life because you're not going to eat finish. So everything started from there.
Yeah.
Then you have to have the preservatives. Then it must be done in a certain way. Then the fridges. And we never needed fridges.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the fridge?
Yeah.
We never needed that because you only take from the soil what you need.
Yeah.
If you're cooking the chicken, you're going to eat it finish because everybody is sharing from that chicken. So we never needed all these things that are used to preserve food. We never needed these microwaves. If you look at the lifestyle, that is what has created cancer and keeps on making it even bigger and better.
Yes.
Better cancer.
Yeah, no.
If you can call cancer bigger and better. Bigger and monstrous.
Yes.
Because all these cells are now starting to become even wiser to see, they're applying chemotherapy. So this is what you need to do to avoid chemotherapy. So I promise you, we're killing it. We are killing ourselves. So the cause is the lifestyle.
The lifestyle.
Cancer is a lifestyle disease. But having said that, the genetic defects that lead to cancer, like for instance, the von Hippel-Lindau syndrome.
Yes.
Where the body ends up creating the growth, inducing growth. That's now that defective gene. It induces growth of the organs. It may be anywhere. It may be the spine. It may be the kidneys. It may be the eyes. It may be the lungs. Those people that end up being exposed to what we call adenocarcinomas.
Yes.
That's genetic.
Yeah.
But even at that, if your lifestyle is such that you don't feed it, then you find you're going to beat it without even realizing that you had it. So even though there are genetic defects that lead to cancer, like I'm quoting von Hippel-Lindau syndrome and other genetic defects, but you can still beat cancer.
Yes.
So it's squarely a lifestyle condition. I just want to bring something that I've shared in the past shows about Anastasia of Siberia.
Yes.
Okay. Who taught, or who's still teaching because she's still alive, how to live in cooperation with nature.
Yes.
And he encouraging that each family plows its own field. And the way they plow their field is that the head of the family, once they've worked on the field, cleared it, and it's ready for plowing. But what happens is that the head of the family must go and stand on that soil barefoot. And for some minutes, I don't know if you can remember, but stands there barefoot for some minutes. Why? Because his piece of land must get the chemical structure of his body, and in that is picking up what the genetic defects are and all that. So so that soil is picking up all that, so that when you start plowing, it is in a position to give you what you need according to your genetic defects and according to your nutritional needs. Because whatever offspring comes from you, it's going to be carrying your genetic makeup.
Yes, yes.
So they do that. And then when it is time for plowing, they take seeds, and then the head of the family again must blow on the seeds. Blow so that the seeds, they get also the understanding of what you need, so that when you put it in the soil already knows what you need. The seeds now get what you need. When they blossom and then they start yielding the crops, they're giving you what you need. So she was saying, therefore, you may plow tomato in your yard, but it will have a chemical structure that is consistent with your needs. Whereas the one that I plow in my own, it will carry what I need.
Yes.
Meaning, even though it's all tomato, but yours is appropriate for your needs, and mine is appropriate for my needs. Meaning, you are not supposed to buy food from Spar or from
Yes.
all these. You're supposed to,
Plants, yeah.
and because then you're getting the one that knows it. Can you see the ecosystem, the combination of nature? I mean, can you see?
Yeah.
Perfect creation of God.
But also, if you sit and you think about the seeds as well, you also have to be very careful where you get them. So for viewers that are interested, always look for heirloom. Heirloom, if it's heirloom tomatoes, if it's heirloom, those are not genetically modified. You know that those are the proper old school proper ones.
Yes.
Heirloom.
Yes.
Heirloom seeds.
Actually, now that you're touching on heirloom, created a small garden for myself, I think about 2 years or so ago. And the plants, I was shocked at how quickly they were growing, because I was doing this myself for the first time, and I was just observing, and I was shocked to see how much they yield. I was shocked, Nikki, to see that you end up not even knowing what to do. You give away the peppers, the spinaches, you give away, you cook, you still sit, and it still keeps on sprouting.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, God created so much and it gave us so much abundance. Now, also recently, then I ended up getting tired of that garden because stuff was too much, and then it was falling and then getting rotten, and it's like, what do I do with all this? Seriously, it was too much.
Yeah.
And then I left it. So then I thought, recently, let me go back to gardening again. So then I get, but then I had put a tank, because when there was shortage of water in Port Elizabeth, they said we must have tanks and all that. So I put a tank, which I'm not really using, the water from. But I'm using that water to the tank water to water the plants. So I don't know if it is the heirloom seeds or if it is tank water, because my belief is that tank water is actually carrying natural properties of water.
The rainwater.
But now I don't know, because it is stagnant, but also algae is still part of nature. And so I don't know. I was like, why are they not growing as they did? So probably because now but I still bought from the same. So I don't know if it's heirloom or if it's whatever. But this is something that I noticed. So something is not right there.
Yeah.
But that's not my speciality now, to analyze a food while it's still germinating and growing. That's not so I need to go to the people that know why is it not growing as fast as it was. And at that time I was using, I think it's probably to do with the seeds, because I was even using tap water at that time. I was not using rainwater.
Yeah.
But now I'm using rainwater, but it's just that it's stagnant water.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But anyway.
No, but my spinach as well, before when lockdowns came, I also did a garden. And the most amazing spinach. And then just one rain season, I think I just got root rot, destroyed my whole garden. And then I kind of gave up because I was a little sad. I was like, I can't do this again.
Yeah. So cancer is a lifestyle disease. You want to beat cancer? Go back to your roots. When I say go back to your roots, go back to how you live your life, what you eat, how you rest, how you exercise. It is absolutely nothing else but a lifestyle disease. Okay? So it is absolutely nothing else but a lifestyle disease. You can beat it to the pulp. And I promise you can beat it. Let's go for a break, and when we come from the break, we talk more about it.
Are you sitting with an illness with no diagnosis, and every doctor in town does not know what is wrong with you? Don't throw in a towel. There's hope for you. St. Mary's Alternative Clinic is a clinic with divine guidance that can do what doctors can't do. Make a booking and you won't be sorry.
Welcome back. We are talking about cancer. It is a big scare. I sometimes notice how people, once I start mentioning that this is what I'm picking up, and you see the expression. I promise you see the expression on the face. It's like death warrant. So it is a big scare. It frightens people like crazy. And all that is so unnecessary. Because once your mind is finished, it's your mind that's going to kill you even more than cancer itself.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what we're trying to teach our viewers, that this is not something that people should fear. It is beatable successfully. You just have to have the right mindset, because then you can cooperate with the processes.
Yeah.
All right.
Our next question is, how does a person go from being diagnosed with cancer, then they go through the chemo, and all the trials and tribulations of chemo. They then get told, no, your cancer is in remission and, this is good news, only for it to come back again and even more aggressively. And can you just explain that whole process to us?
Well, something that I have noticed with the diagnosis of conventional medicine, where cancer is concerned, the diagnosis in general, but now I'm just contextualizing it to cancer. I get people here and they say, I've been diagnosed with breast cancer. I've taken the breast out, or both of them. I decided to remove even the other one, because that was the advice that I got. Now they're coming to me so that I can make sure that nothing goes wrong. They're combining now. They've finished chemo, but now they're coming for alternative, so that which is not a bad idea. And then I scan them, and I see that, let me make an example, that you find the person developed breast cancer because of lymphatic system.
Oh, yes.
And I see that the cancer is in the bone marrow. They've got lymphoma. That breast that they're talking about is just that it is the one that has been picked up by conventional, but they're actually sitting with bone marrow cancer.
Yeah.
Okay, white blood cells. And I find that it is not only, now according to conventional medicine, you find that when it's like, they say it's stage 4, you are on stage. When it has spread to so many organs, then they say you are on stage 4 cancer. So they diagnose the breast, yet you are sitting with the area where it originated from, which is your bone marrow. And I look and I see that, maybe the bladder is already affected. They do experience a bit of this and that, but they don't know that that's the. So then I find that maybe there are already 3 areas where there is lymphoma.
Yeah.
So the breast was just a small part of the whole body, the way it is affected. Yet they're saying they say, I am cancer free. It's on remission. So I've just finished my chemo.
Yeah.
So it is they're being misled by conventional because of the way conventional makes diagnosis.
Yeah.
So that's number one. So when you are told you've got uterine cancer, and you focusing on because that's how conventional works. They don't look at the whole body. They look because you're picking up a lump there, then they look at that, they say, it's cancerous. Then the focus is on that breast. Meanwhile, that cancer is in this area and is in this area. So now, that is why, therefore, you find that they focus on that breast, they remove it,
Yeah.
and then they say it's on remission, they put it on chemo, and then they say it's on remission, they cannot pick up. When they say it's on remission, that's why they will not say it is cured. They say it's on remission, meaning it's just arrested.
Yes.
And you keep on having to go for checkups to see if it's not back again, and so on and so on. So now, when you come back, and then they discover other symptoms, because there's someone just recently who was not my client when she was discovered to be having breast cancer. She was my client because of the child who was autistic, who I was treating. So, and then she told me, hey, I've been diagnosed with cancer. And I said, hey, come. So that we can just arrest it. And she said, no, I'm telling chemo, it's fine, I'm fine. And So she never really came for herself. So I stopped, and she kept on buying for the child. Even when she came second time, she was buying for the child, not for herself. So I didn't even ask, how are you doing with with your breast and what have you, and what. She was fine. And then all of a sudden, she was from hospital, and then she calls me and she said, can you please prescribe something for me? Give me something for cancer. She was accumulating fluid in the lungs and
Yeah.
And then, so I sent her some medication, and she got a relief from those symptoms that were pressing her. And she, but then I said, come for the scan, because even this medication that I'm giving you, it's on the basis of what you're telling me. I'm just giving you also intuitively. But I haven't scanned you to see where we're standing. So she eventually came, and when she came, she had adenocarcinoma. I picked up that she had lung adenocarcinoma. Even one kidney was also affected. And her trachea, her trachea was sitting with a clot, but not inside the trachea, just outside the trachea, such that when it was time for me to treat her, I was not sure, because that trachea, remember the trachea is the windpipe.
Yeah.
Nothing else must go there except your oxygen or carbon dioxide, that exchange. There must be, even when you drink water, if it so happens that it encroaches a little bit in your trachea, you will cough.
Yes.
You will, you go crazy.
Yeah.
Just that small little bit of, now you can imagine if you can have something that for a clot that it will kill you. It will kill you immediately. So it's sitting on the trachea. But the part where the husband she said to me when I was telling them that this is what I'm picking up, he said, when she went to hospital again because of the shortness of breath, which is why she ended up calling me to assist her. That was after. She said they told her that she had stage 4 lung cancer.
Sure.
Now she was telling me that, I asked them, how did you miss it? Because when she came here, it was just the breast. And that is not so long ago. I think that's almost around a year, or even maybe less than a year.
Sure.
So how do you find that a person moves from a remission of breast cancer and within a period of 1 year has already progressed to stage 4 lung cancer? How do you?
Yeah.
He said, I was asking the oncologist that. So that was the discussion when I was telling you that this is what I'm picking up, that you've got adenocarcinoma, okay, and lung adenocarcinoma. But what I'm getting at is that this is a typical example, someone who's been diagnosed with breast cancer and there's no other area that was identified, and then all of a sudden they say, it was never gone.
Yeah.
It was never gone.
Yeah.
When they say you're in remission and then it comes back, cancer does not work like that. Because remember, cancer is a cell production abnormality.
Yes.
So, and it's those blood cells, those cancer cells are transported in the blood. They are in your lymph. Your lymph will try and kill them because we've got natural killer cells, the NK cells.
Yeah.
They will try and identify and they will kill it. So it is a cell production abnormality. So that it doesn't happen that 1 minute you are in remission, the next minute it's in the brain, it's in the liver, it was there from the beginning.
Yes.
When they discovered this, it was already there. But then they did not manage to discover it, in good time so that they would be able to treat it. Because this is the thing that when I tell them that, no, these are the areas where you've got such serious exposure to cancer. Then the person says, am I that sick?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't mean you're that sick. It's just that I can see that, hey, here, your voltage here is low, your pH is acidic here. So these are the areas where cancer is likely to hit you, and it's going to hit you hard. Yeah. So when they say you're stage 4, it doesn't mean it just happened. You were carrying it all along.
Yeah.
So back again to how they do their diagnosis. To answer your question.
Yeah. Can you unpack a little bit more about this client, and what this client had to deal with this incorrect diagnosis?
Yeah, actually, this one that I was mentioning, I was just touching on, but I can actually give a different example of someone where I felt, yes, also breast cancer.
Yeah.
She had been diagnosed with breast cancer and she did chemo. And she was told that she's on remission, if I'm not mistaken. So when she came to me, she was referred by a relative who had seen my track record. But then I discovered that she had multiple endocrine neoplasia. Men, because it induces tumors also, it tends to complicate into cancer. Okay. So she came to me and I started giving her medication, and then I told her that these are the glands that are affected. And of those glands, pancreas was one of them that was affected. And I wanted her to take the second batch, which she did, even though, with a bit of hesitancy, because it's because this is the thing that I have to deal with in my line of work. That when I diagnose a person and then I work out the protocols. Now the protocols will deal with the first stage or the stage that I have diagnosed. But then you will find when you come back, I always give people example of an onion peel. That the body, with all the accumulation of illnesses, ends up creating its own onion peel. Yes. Where you find the most pressing symptoms will present, and which is what ends up bringing you to me because you've been moving to all the doors, but you're not coming right. And then I see what is, and then I see what has prompted that to occur. And then I deal with that.
Yes.
But once I deal with that and we remove that top layer, and then the bottom layer of the onion shows that, no, this is,
Yeah.
Because this is what happened with her. That so I advise, because she called to say that she is feeling weak. Okay. You know, she's extremely tired, not just weak. No, she's feeling extremely tired. So then I said, okay, come so that I can see what is going on. And then before she could come, because she was still organizing, and then before she could come, she told me that she experienced an excruciating stomach pain. And because she's far and I could not send her anything quickly, and you know, but then I said, if you've got that, chances are it's pancreatitis because of your pancreas. Then I said, go to your doctor and tell them to give you to look at pancreatitis and give you something for that. And she said that doctor was so angry, you know, dismissed her and told her that this is, I mean, and also sitting with his file and said, no, this is cancer, So it just gave her pain tablets. So then she called me, she said, pain tablets which are not helping because I started with pain tablets before I called you. So then I said, then she calls me later. She says she ended up talking to a friend, a nurse friend of hers, who gave her antibiotic and that pain went away. So she was saying it definitely must have been pancreatitis like you suspected. And then I suggested that she must come for the scan. So when I come to Joburg. So when she came, she was really looking not good. You know, she looked weak. She really looked fatigued, you know. And then I scanned and I saw that, she had a tumor, a carcinoid tumor on her fundus, this part of the, and she also had another one at the triangle. Now the pancreas with its tail and the head, where that expansion occurs, which is the triangle of the pancreas. She had another, she had those two tumors. Had also created a blockage of the bile, had compressed on the bile duct. So the liver was not releasing, the bile flow was not occurring properly, and it was affecting the liver, you know. So then I tell her that, this kind of medication, but then she was already quite weakish. And this one was even bigger than the one in the pancreas, but both were big tumors. Okay. So, and then the children called to say that she's becoming weak. Then I said, send her to hospital. Send her to hospital. So they tested her in the hospital. And the other thing that was happening is that her stools, there was blood in her stools. Which is the liver.
Yes.
Okay. So now she goes to hospital. They say, cancer has spread to the liver. And now they wanted to send her for chemo and she was refusing. And now the children are asking me if I can talk to her doctor, you know. So then I said, well, we didn't talk on the phone, but I sent a voice note. And I was advised, I tell them that the liver is the victim from the pancreas. I said she's got the carcinoid tumor in her fundus, she's got the carcinoid tumor in pancreatic triangle, and it is blocking the bile flow, and that is killing the liver. So that's why she's jaundiced. And so don't just look at the liver. Work on that pancreas, work on that fundus, you know, because that's the other thing that she felt the pain. She felt the pain on the fundal area. But so he sent, so it was just voice note between me and the doctor. So I sent, and he said, noted, but the fact is, the liver is taking a huge knock out of it. So but then the next message that he sent was, apparently they did take her for a CT scan. And I'm not sure if it was a CT or MRI, but they did send her for an additional scan. And he noted that apparently the MRI, I think it was the MRI, did not pick up some of the things, but he did not specify. He said it did not pick up some of the things, but still the liver is affected, is badly affected, and whatever and whatever. So, but the long and the short of it is the diagnosis, because remember, this person is sitting with tumors that are affecting the stomach, and that is affecting, the next one is affecting the pancreas, but they are focusing on the liver. The liver is the victim to the particularly the pancreas. But now they say, because why is she jaundice? Pancreatic symptoms will manifest as jaundice also.
Yeah.
You become ill because they share the bile duct. So that bilirubin, when it flows back, whether it is because of that the pancreas also manifests with liver symptoms. Okay, so but then how do you tell that? So those are the things that are so frustrating, because the conventional uses the bad eye view, the sniper approach. That's the only. And meanwhile, the body, when it presents with problems, it's the, what do you call the AK? Is it the AK that shoots everything?
Yeah,
it's like that, Yeah. It's not the sniper. So the sniper makes them miss out on so many things that they could have fixed had they been able to identify them in good time. So that's an example that I can
give to me.
I can give to you.
The next question is, what is the general rule that you can prevent or even treat cancer with?
Stay away from meat and stay away from sugar. I promise you, Nikki, that is the start.
Yeah.
Stay away from meat and stay away from sugar, because you are starving cancer when you do that. With sugar, you're starving cancer, but with meat, because cancer hides behind fat.
Yes.
It really hides behind fat. So when you eat meat, you're actually creating a hiding place for cancer. So by depriving it of that kind of fat, because you still have to take a protein, but you must take plant protein, not animal protein. So stay away from meat so that you're not giving it a hiding place.
Yeah.
So that it is exposed, and then you starve it.
Yeah.
Because it lives off those the enzymes. So sugar gives it the enzymes that gives it the energy to keep on spawning, and growing like crazy. So that's your first and perpetual advice that I can give you. Stay away from meat and stay away from sugar. When I mean sugar, I'm not just only talking about sugar, cane sugar that you put. You stay away from muffins, from cakes, from chocolates, from milk, because that's all sugar. It's different types of sugar, lactose, galactose, but that's all sugar. Even fruit.
Yeah.
Even fruit. I'm talking even to people that are that are not fructose intolerant. But if cancer has hit you, stay away from fruit as well.
Yes.
Yeah, but I will advise, there are certain fruits that you'll find I will advise to certain people according to the type of cancer that they have. Then I'll say, take this fruit, but don't take this other fruit. But stay away from sugar because you are starving cancer. That's the best thing that I can advise, besides all the other things and medication and what supplements and what have you. But your first line of lambasting cancer is stay away from meat and stay away from sugar.
There's a very famous ex-supermodel that has come out. She wrote an autobiography. And in it, she talks about having, a couple of years ago, having breast cancer. And I think the viewers might remember her, Elle Macpherson. She's Australian. And she decided that conventional medication and the conventional treatment plan was not for her. So she decided to rather go into the holistic side. And since coming out of that, she has been lambasted by journalists, media. The things that they've been saying about her, it's actually pretty vile, if I can put it that way. And they are literally gunning for her, you know. And I mean, what is your take on why is the media and the journalists suddenly turning on this woman who has been pretty much quiet for the past couple of years?
No, because firstly, I suppose when you are an influencer, if I may put it that way, when you're a celebrity, you are an influencer. People look at you, they listen to you, they follow you. So whatever comes from your mouth, it falls on ears. It's not on deaf ears. So, and the fact that she is promoting alternative, I mean, you know, who owns the media? It's from, I mean, you know, people who own media, who own pharmaceuticals, who, all these things. It's the same group.
Yeah.
It's the same bunch of people who want nothing else but to keep on, you know, controlling and putting the thumb on humanity. So when she talks about alternative methods, she is now making people like, hey, open your eyes.
Yeah.
And pharmaceuticals don't want you to open your eyes. They want you to keep on following this dead road that the bulk of the population is actually following. Because that's, I mean, look, it's the same as COVID. That's if you look at a vaccine, it's only afterwards where people realize, hey, what was I thinking? What did I do? And it's, in most cases, it's actually too late. So anything that is alternative.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I have had the experience. I mean, I'm not even talking as celebrity. I'm talking as someone who's just presenting a show and following the natural methods. I have been taken,
Yeah.
I have been taken, but I have taken people back. You know, I've been taken and I've given it back. You know? So, so that is, which is why you find we're still going on. We're still talking about it even now and all that, because you cannot destroy the truth, Nikki. You can try, because that's what they're trying to do. They cannot silence her, and they cannot, I mean, look at, I mean, the way she looks.
Yeah.
For someone who's, I mean, look at the way she looks.
Yeah.
So you look at her, you say, I want to be like that too. If when you've got cancer, you can look like that, then I want to be like that too, even without having cancer.
Yeah.
So she is a walking example of how alternative medicine works. So you cannot tell any other person otherwise, because they can see for themselves. So, but she cannot be allowed to do that. By who?
Big Pharma.
Big Pharma. So all these doctors that are against or that are promoting alternative, and you must keep watching when you're driving. Keep watching that you're not railroaded.
Yeah.
Because they do those things. And they do ugly things. So if you're drinking, you keep, you know, so maybe while you're drinking, you never realize that maybe some acid has been poured into your drink while you yep. So, and it's someone that just walks past and you did not realize. So you must know. But it doesn't faze us, because we know where is the truth, the real truth coming from. It comes from the divine, from God. So you cannot silence that.
Well, it's Big Pharma who said, what? I think their comment is, a patient cured is money lost.
Yes.
A patient cured is money lost.
Exactly.
So it's something like that, yeah.
Anyway, because of time, this is where we're going to end. But if you can take anything out of this, is stop getting scared and living in fear because of cancer, because then you are giving it power over you. Secondly, start by staying away from meat and sugar. And thirdly, come to Mama.
True.
Because I will be able to tell you what cancer you've got, where is it originating from, is it genetic, is lifestyle, is it what? And then work out a way forward. We walk the walk together. Thank you for watching, and this is where we end, and goodbye.
Thank you very much for joining us, and I wish you a great week ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.